Once again, very warm welcome in Lisanics for my lecture. In today's video, we are going to discuss the concept of morpheme. This concept we discuss under the umbrella of morphology. That's one of the level of linguistics, one of the level of language, in which we discuss how different words are formed, or we study the internal structure of words. So, morpheme is the smallest meaningful unit of word. The one word is smallest, it means it cannot be further broken. And meaningful, it always has meaning, and sometimes it has to depend for the completion of its meaning, and sometimes it can stand on its own. It does not need to depend on other morpheme, but it is always meaningful. So, there are two types of morpheme. One is free morpheme and the other one is bound morpheme. As the word suggests, that free morpheme, it is free. It does not depend on other morpheme for the completion of its meaning, or it can stand on its own, right? For example, we have word cat, beauty, this marker, and bag, shoes, fan, wall. All these words are free morphemes. And other type is bound morpheme. Bound morpheme is a morpheme which does not exist on its own. It has to depend on other morpheme for the completion of its meaning. For example, cat, and we add s sound, s morpheme at the end, and if we break this word cat and s, so s is meaningless. This s morpheme is meaningless. It has to depend on other morpheme for the completion of its meaning. It can't stand on its own. For stability, it has to depend on other morpheme. So, this morpheme s will be considered as bound morpheme. So, further we have divided free morpheme into two types: lexical morpheme and functional morpheme. Lexical morpheme is the morpheme which carries the main message. You may call it as a picture word. When you utter these words, there is some kind of picture in your mind. And for example, noun, verbs and adjectives belong to the category of lexical morpheme. For example, if we speak the word cup, there is a picture in our mind. If I say glass, again this is lexical. It carries the main message. It carries the content of the language. So, again if I say speak, verb, so again it carries content and main message. Adjectives also belong to the category of lexical morpheme. And functional morpheme, as the word suggests, these morphemes fulfill the grammatical category, grammatical function. Sometimes these are used to connect two words. Sometimes in case of preposition, these words tell the relative position of certain objects. For example, if I say the book is on the table, so book and table, these two objects, and on is telling the relative position of these things. He is going to school, so to is making a connection, school and he. So these words fulfill the grammatical category. Preposition, articles, these articles also belong to the category of functional morpheme, and pronoun and conjunctions, and so, but, and nor, like, and many others. Determiners, this, that, these, those, and different numbers 1, 2, 3. These numbers also come under the heading of determiners. And auxiliaries like is, am, are, and can, could, may, might. So these words belong to the category of functional morpheme. And if you notice that to, of, on, all these words can stand on its own. That's why we call it as free morpheme. We call these functional morpheme as closed class word, closed class word, and these lexical closed class words. Why we call these functional words, functional morpheme, as closed class? Because we can't affix anything. We can't add suffix at the end to form something new. To is always to, and this is invariable. It can't be changed, right? So that is why we call it as closed class words. So again, there are certain differences which we have between lexical morpheme and functional morpheme. So first one is that lexical morpheme is always open to affixation. Open to affixation. What does it mean? It means affixation means to attach prefixes or suffixes. Morpheme which are attached in the beginning of the root word, base word, stem word are called as prefix, and which are attached at the end after the root word are called as suffixes. So lexical morphemes are open to affixation. For example, the word cup, we can add new morpheme like cups. For example, we have speak, we can add speaks, speaker, right? And good, we can add in adjectives, better, right? So open to affixation, this is one of the quality of lexical morpheme. The other one is phonologically independent. These lexical morphemes are phonologically independent. Independently it can be uttered, it can be spoken, and mostly these lexical morphemes are stressed most of the time. Usually lexical morphemes are stressed, and these are always content words, and mostly we see that lexical morphemes are polysyllabic, and in contrast these lexical morphemes are open to affixation. That is why we call it as open class words. And on the other hand, functional morphemes are not open to affixation, right? We can't add something in the beginning or at the end. Phonologically dependent, these are mostly unstressed, and these are grammatical words, and these words fulfill the grammatical need of the sentence. This is all about lexical and functional morpheme. Next we move towards the bound morphemes. These are also divided into two types, derivational and inflectional morpheme. There is misconception that prevails about derivational and inflectional, so try to understand that derivational morphemes are those morphemes which change the class of the word, which change the class or grammatical category. Category means a class of expressions which share common characteristics. In simple words, these are parts of speech. For example, if you have noun and if you attach prefix or suffix, the category will be changed. But derivational morphemes do not change grammatical category in all cases. Sometimes these derivational morphemes maintain grammatical category, and sometimes these derivational morphemes change grammatical category. So we can say these are class maintaining morpheme as well as class changing morpheme. Class means parts of speech. Class maintaining morpheme and class changing morphemes. So you can add prefix as well as suffix. It means that derivational morpheme can come in the initial position as well as in the final position. For example, if we have word meter, right, and if we add the word penta, and penta here is prefix, pentameter. Meter is noun and pentameter is also noun. So class remains same. So this is the derivational morpheme, that class remains same, but it is not always that class remains same. Sometimes class also changes. Class means grammatical category. Grammatical category means parts of speech. For example, if we say the word sleep, and if we add as prefix asleep, then sleep is verb and asleep is adjective. So verb is a different category, adjective is a different category. So with the addition of prefix, grammatical category is changed. In the same way, we have child. Child is a noun and childhood. Again, grammatical category does not change. But in urban is adjective and urbanized. So adjective is changed into verb. So here class is changed, right? Class does not remain same. So about derivational morphemes, some people think that derivational morphemes always change the grammatical category, but it is not so. It sometimes changes the grammatical category and sometimes it does not change grammatical class or grammatical category. On the other hand, inflectional morpheme. In inflectional morpheme, I have only written suffix. It means that inflection is always done at the end of the word, after stem, after base word, and these are always class maintaining words. Class is never changed due to inflectional morpheme. Class always remains same, although grammatical form is changed. Grammatical form means here you see singular may be changed into plural, or noun. In case of noun, you may show possessive case. For example, if I say cat and cats, right? Cat is singular and cats plural. And in possessive case, Ahmad, this is noun, and Ahmad's house. So you can show possessiveness. And in case of verb, we have different grammatical forms, as you can show third person, right? Yes, third person by the addition of s or es, as you see go and goes, speak and speaks. And progressive form like go, going, and past form is like watch, watched, ed, second form, and third form past participle like en. So these are four major inflections of verb and two inflections which are related to adjectives. Adjective is a category, grammatical category. With the addition of suffix, adjective remains adjective. For example, if I say great and add er, it will become greater, and est, greatest. So these are two inflections of adjective. So adjective remains adjective, grammatical category does not change. In the same way, verb remains verb, grammatical category does not change. So we can say in inflectional morpheme, we change number, right? Person, first person, second person, third person, or time or aspects of tenses, or sometimes we see degree is also changed, and gender can also be changed, feminine and masculine, right? Prince and princess. So these are different inflection. Mostly there are 8 kind of inflection that we find in English language. Some languages are more inflectional and some are less inflectional. If we compare English with Arabic language, so Arabic is much more, Arabic has number of inflections as compared to the English language, So this is all about derivation and inflectional morphology. There are certain characteristics which are associated with derivational morphology. Derivational morpheme fulfills the semantic necessity of the sentence, and inflectional morpheme fulfills the grammatical necessity of the sentence. And derivational morpheme may come in the beginning, in the middle, or at the end, but inflectional morpheme always comes at the end. It is always in a terminal position, and these are sometimes class changing and sometimes class maintaining morphemes, but inflectional morphemes are always class maintaining. They do not change class, grammatical class. And derivational morpheme, these morphemes sometimes change the meaning of the word. Avoid, avoidable, unavoidable. So meanings are changed. So this is all about the concept of morpheme. If you want to learn more about the concept of morpheme and certain other linguistic concepts, stay connected with Lisanics. Thank you so much for watching.